What I want to do in this video is talk about what the hands should be doing, particularly coming in towards that sort of late downswing, impact and post-impact area. And this is something that the most amateur golfers tend to get a little bit sort of confused by in terms of exactly how it should feel. Now, there is a bit of a disclaimer obviously with this video because your hands and arms are going to feel different for a multitude of reasons. One thing that we've got to talk about is obviously squaring the club face, okay? So what needs to happen is if we need to, once you've taken hold of the club in the backswing, there is likely to be a need to create a little bit of pronation, which is the rotation of the arms this way. You'll obviously bring it down like so, and then you'll need an element of supination to square the face. So there's always going to have to be an amount of forearm rotation to square the face. The reality of the situation is that the better that you pivot through the ball, which basically means the better that you can rotate and the better that you can retain your hip depth, then you'll have less club face manipulation. So if I sort of swung, but I take my grip, which is a pretty orthodox grip, about three knuckles on my lead hand, trail hand sits pretty orthodox. So I sort of swing back, and as I take the club back like so, I would start to produce a little bit more, again, of that pronation to keep that club shaft moving on plane. I'd then bring it down as I keep then rotating through. This is the big thing. This is me getting that left, see my lead hip comes back. This allows those hands to stay close towards me. And then I would kind of come up. And then from this position, then I would start to produce a little bit of forearm rotation to square the face. So there's only a small amount that's happening coming in towards this vicinity to square that club face in towards that sort of impact area. But if you're somebody who doesn't pivot as well, or if you're somebody who doesn't have the capability to get loads of hip depth, then you need to accept that there's going to be more forearm rotation. And you need to do that, right? Let yourself rotate it if you need to. The bigger question though really is the hands coming down. And I think one of the things that you need to, again, sort of understand and get a feeling for, and this is one of my favorite drills, it's a very difficult drill, but it's one of my favorite drills, is that your trail hand, so my right hand, is applying pressure towards my lead thumb to create width. So if I sort of take my normal grip now, separate my fingers off the club, so it's almost like a starfish, so my right palm is just applying pressure to my left thumb. And if I sort of just take that back, in that backswing, my right palm is helping apply pressure to keep my lead arm straight. As I initiate my downswing and I start to rotate, my right palm is still applying pressure towards my lead thumb to keep this arm straight. We don't want to do anything to do anything to change that. We need that width to help us control that low point. So that's the first thing you really want to feel, that pressure downwards, so the hands feel like they're a lot lower. And then as we continue to move through, again, that club shaft will start to exit more towards that sort of trail side, so more this way. And again, see the way, again, my right hand is still positioned like so. So you really want to get a sense of keeping those hands low in that sort of pre to post impact area. If you can't do that, then the reasons why is because of your pivot. So if you're somebody who is too upright, then you're going to notice that if you're standing up, your hands are going to be far too high. It's going to cause you to sort of chicken wing and get a little stuck on it. So like I said earlier, it's a really difficult drill, but with a lot of my online students and people that reach out for lessons, this is something that I get them to do because it's uncomfortable, but it's worth its weight in gold in terms of education. So you go back to the starfish drill and you just try and hit some shots. But what you're trying to do is keep it. See the way I'm still in contact here? My right palm is still on my lead thumb. So what I'm not doing is sort of getting stuck in it coming off. Okay, and if you're somebody who sort of stands up with this type of drill, then you're going to find it really difficult to even hit it because it's going to expose that problem. So you make some practice swings, keep that width, nice short swings, and then what you're trying to do is get those feeling of almost what it will really feel like, and this is something that a lot of students say to me, is that it will really feel like that right palm is pushing down towards the ground, and that's going to help you get that club face nice and stable in that hitting area and give you a tremendous amount of consistency. So that's what you're looking for in terms of a great drill, in terms of a feeling. But like I said earlier, if you're somebody who can't quite pivot that way, then you can still do this drill, but just allow that little bit. So I'm allowing a bit more arm rotation, but I'm still getting that same relationship of my right palm low on towards the ground. See you guys again soon.